As I sat down to start this, I felt so inadequate and unprepared, and I'm really tempted to stop this video and start over, but I am thinking about these videos really as responses and kind of a video blog and a draft, so y'all bear with me when the thoughts are in progress. So I have another draft to share with you based on a work of art in the Harmon and Harriet Kelley collection here at the Customs House Museum in Clarksville, Tennessee. And as I sat down, I had another thought and I realized this draft is nowhere near complete. Like, there's a whole section I need to add to it, but you know what, that's revision, and that's a beautiful thing that I see that there are revision possibilities in it. Let me just go ahead and read it to you and then I'll talk to you about it. So this draft is in response to dance composition number 35. Dance composition number 35 is a one-color aqua tint and line etching by Eldzier Corter. So first thing that I realized, okay, I'm not prepared, is I need to do more research on the artist and make sure that I am pronouncing his name correctly. Like, how, I mean, that's true, but you know, it's not a small thing to just say, oh yeah, I need to do that. A lot of times, you know, when you read or you study or you think about a certain movement or work of art or body of artists, we have all of these thoughts in our heads and we're doing the cross research from different resources, but maybe we haven't spoken it out loud or talked to someone else about it. So we could just be butchering a term or a name, and then we'll say, oh well, you know what I mean. Well, no, maybe I don't. Let's actually get the name right. So step number one of what I'll be doing later as I research more and do more revision is ensure that I am pronouncing the artist's name correctly. Okay, so here's the draft again in response to dance composition number 35. I etch, I tint, I print a long neck goose goddess in triplicate. Wait, don't deify. There they are, all human, on an Art Deco stage, all chaos and order choreographed. Okay, so that's the draft I have on paper right now, but let's step back. So the actual beginning that I had was a federal, and my thought was, let me do a persona poem in the voice of the artist. And it started with, a federal grant showed me to myself, which I now show to you. For us, ooh, okay, see, this is a messy, again, I like showing you my drafts. Yeah, messy draft, right? But so I had, a federal grant showed me to myself, which I now show to you, for to see the truth and truth of us all. So I started thinking about the way that the work of art was created. So from my limited knowledge right now of the artist, he studied at the Art Institute of Chicago, and I believe the Pratt Institute. I need to do more research here. This is all coming from memory, but limited memory at that. But he then received a federal work project grant to go to the islands and live and work with the Gullah people. And a lot of his artwork really grew during that time, where he kind of recognized or saw a space that he could occupy creatively and a lot of subject matter. So the work of art is a study of three women who are dressed in white. They have white head wraps and they're dancing, and their background are these really beautiful, intricate Art Deco style patterns. But I mean, this is a line etching, and it seems like it would be difficult to get a lot of the detail and movement that he got in this etching. The women dancing are just so fluid, and their attire just gorgeous, to the point that it almost lifts them up to this otherworldliness. But the thing that immediately struck me is, you know, the phrase like black girl magic, and there are others that aren't coming to the top of my mind right now, but there's something about those phrases that kind of bother me. While I completely get and love and appreciate the respect that's being given to people when you say, oh, that's black girl magic, I mean, you're saying they're doing something wonderful, they are awesome, they're amazing. But then to say, oh, it's magic, well, magic, maybe I'm wrong. I was about to say magic takes it as if, oh, it's not this work that they've done, it's some kind of poof, it happened. But then again, when you really think about it, magicians, oh, okay, I can take all of this back now, because I just realized, yeah, magicians actually do a lot of work and study, and you know, the whole sleight of hand that happens in front of your eyes is like the tiny, tiny half of a percent of what they've been working on in the background. Okay, so yeah, now this changes what I'm like talking this out as I think it. Initially, I was bothered by the phrase black girl magic because it felt to me as if it demeans the amount of work that people are putting into their amazingness. In actuality, it really reflects the fact that we're seeing this one little thing that seems like this just poof of brilliance, but in reality, magicians are doing all the work. Okay, well, everything else I was gonna say is now kind of null because I just worked that out in my head. All right, but I still have a lot to do with this draft, because I think what I was really what came out was about the subject matter in the work of art. What I'm interested in now, more that I think about it, is the artist's process of doing all of this formal study in arts institutions, and then through a federal grant being embedded in this rich, rich culture where it seems as though his work really came alive. So I'm interested in the process of going from academic study and studio work to in-community work, and how that all affects your process. And so my hope is that I can eventually, from this draft, craft a poem that really gets at that way of studying and developing as an artist, and also maybe a commentary on the value of federal grants and federal funding for the arts. I don't want to get super political because I have other things to do today, and that'll zap my energy in a way that will not be productive for me. But you know, when we talk about NEH, the NEA, or like WPA programs, sometimes it sounds a little fluffy to people, but when we think about what it really brings into our lives, community, and quality of life, I think there's really a lot there. All right, all of that from a quick draft of a poem. Again, that quick draft was based on dance composition number 35 by Eldzier, Corter, and I will come back to you with the correct pronunciation of his name, because that does matter. It really does.